2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode here on 1950's Farm. As you can see, today we have got the sprayer out, so I've already completed one field. I did the cornfield, but I thought I'd bring you in for this field, and then we've got the humongous field to do. But that will take probably the rest of today, I would imagine. With this little sport, certainly for another 2 or 3 hours anyway. But as I say, I'll get that done off camera. But I thought I'd bring you in. So hope everyone's well, and hope you're all having a good day. It looks like I missed a corner, which is always good. Don't know why I missed that corner. Strange. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully you're all having a good day. Mine's not going too bad. Thank you very much. I can't wait. Tomorrow afternoon we will be able to play on FS25, and I can't wait. I literally can't wait. So the work on Britain's farm is still going on mad at the moment, because I'm trying to get all of that done and sold before Tuesday, which it's not going too bad, to be fair. So you know, we're getting our way through it. It's been good, and to be fair, actually, you know, since I've said that I'm gonna end the series, the viewing figures have gone up dramatically in the last few weeks. They've gone from sort of getting 10 or 15 to getting nearly 100. So maybe I should start to sort of say every week, well, I'm going to end this series, and then we can get some higher viewing figures. But no, so that will be good to get that wrapped up. To be fair, it's not going to be something that I get rid of, like off my computer, or you know, delete the save game or anything like that, because I mean, probably not, but I may dip in and out of it. You know, sporadically from time to time. It's something I'm going to keep for myself, because, as I say, I've really enjoyed it, and the main reason for me sort of saying, well, I'm going to sort of kind of end the series is because the viewing figures on it weren't very good, and so therefore, you know, that was why I came to the conclusion that I came to. The only thing I can sort of put it down to the fact that it's improved dramatically, because I've noticed that one or two things have I've been kind of like, oh, you know, that's kind of getting better or whatever. And the only thing I can put it down to is the fact that I've actually started to do proper thumbnails again, rather than just a set picture that represents a series. Is actually do a thumbnail that represents what we do in the video. And as I say, that seems to have helped a little bit too. So, and obviously, you know, doing my shorts as well, you know, and each day I release the shorts that I release, and it's kind of, this is what I'm doing today on farming, you know, whether it's on the 1950s farm, whether it's on the Oaks. I've got 2, maybe 3 series going on there at the moment. Well, not series, but you know, I've got the Sunny Side Up Farms series that's going on there. But you know, I'm sort of then I sort of do videos on my own personal save that I play in the evenings. You know, sort of all days YouTube based farming sim for me, and then you know, I then sort of in the evening, all that, you know, sort of comes to an end, and then I just play you know, the one that I occasionally put up. But yeah, so today is going to be a relatively short video. Running out of memory space on my computer, but also as well, and more to the point, and this is more the reason why, because I feel like I need to correct something. So yesterday's episode, in the Britain's episode, I kind of said, oh, I'm getting a bit tired of hearing farmers and, stuff going on about the budget and blah, 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 and they're not doing nothing about it and, whatever. Well, that's not strictly true. And it's time, the thing is, I have my opinions and I voice my opinions. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I think this time I've got to put my hands up and say, whilst I was in support of farmers, whilst I was against what Rachel Reeves did in the budget, I said that farmers weren't doing nothing about it. I've since been educated by 2 or 3 real life farmers. One of them is a very big YouTuber, and it's not too far from where I live in Lincolnshire. And another YouTuber as well as I was sort of asked, and I should have done this first, and so I apologise. I went to my old farm boss, farm manager, and I said to him, look, I've sort of said this and this on my video, am I right? And he said, well, some points that you make are fair and valid. He said, but he said, if that's what you've said, then, it's not right, because, there are protests that are planned for London later in the month of November. I think it's the 19th, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. It's open to anyone. I will be going. I've already, sort of booked my train ticket to London, so I will be going. And what's amazing out of that is that the government have said that should farmers protest in London, they will be arrested. The protests have kind of, in a way, sort of been outlawed by the government, but yet, funnily enough, the same government, although to be fair, I suppose it was a different government, but the same people didn't do anything about the Just Stop Oil protesters. The same level of response wasn't given to them, and yet again, the farmers are kind of on the brunt of the government and everything that sort of they try and do. I wish it was just as simple, and I said this to the person that I was talking to, and I said to him, I wish it was just as simple as you guys just saying, do you know what? No, we're not supplying food. We'll sell it abroad. We'll do this with it. We'll do that with it. But it's not as simple as that. At the end of the day, they need to make money from what they're doing. They have markets. They have specific markets that they're growing for. And so therefore they have to carry on. And it's a case that I've sort of since heard oh well, food prices will have to go up again, and I said this to the phone. I said, how does that affect food prices? Why are food prices affected by a tax that you're going to get at some point in your life? And to be fair, within 5 years that tax, I'm guessing, is going to be eradicated. I think if the Conservatives get in, then get back in, which I think they will. I think because it's not just the farmers that have been sort of missed off about the budget. It's affecting the every ordinary day man as well, and so I think a lot of people will be trying to reverse what they've done this year. But as I sort of said, as much as I can support you, I don't really see what an inheritance tax has to do with the price of food. And it's like, well, we've got to charge more for the food to be able to cover the tax, and it's like, well, that's not really. So therefore, what you're saying is that the only way that you can sort of get on is by charging us more for something we had nothing to do with. You know, and I said to him, you know, that sounds to me like you're like the government, and it's like we'll just hit the poor man as hard as we can, or the average everyday man as hard as we can. But yeah, no, I got things wrong. They are doing stuff about it. I think it is an absolute disgrace, and I've said this all along. You know, the tax that's been you know, put on to farmers, and the fact that yet again, you know, the Labour government seem to, you know, want to get rid of food farming in this country. You know, I think it's disgusting what they've done, and you know, the farmers should have a right to protest. We live in a democracy. As long as those protests are peaceful, and you know, they're not violent in any way or antisocial in any way, but they're just you know, a calm, ordered protest, then we live in a democracy, and that's our democracy. You make a decision, we don't like it, we have a right to say that we don't like it, and the only way that we can get you to listen is to go to London and line the streets and say, you know, we don't agree with what you've done, you know. So to say that, you know, we'll be arrested and that, you know, then that's not a democracy. You know, that's a dictatorship, saying that, you know, we make the decisions and you can't do anything about it. So I think the government needs to be very careful about how they sort of go about, you know, stopping these protests, because, you know, as I say, other people, other protesters have been, you know, and the same with, you know, free Gaza and free Palestines and all of those, you know, protests. You know, the war in Ukraine 2 years ago, there was a lot of protests about that. You know, and they were allowed to protest, but you know, the farmers sort of said, you know, we're, you know, going to do a peaceful protest and march through, you know, London. You know, and they've said if you come into London and do that, you know, you're going to be arrested. Well, there's an easy solution to that. Let's all get in our tractors and let's drive 4 lanes across the motorway very slowly to London. When we get to London, let's get on the other side of the motorway and then drive very slowly back. Didn't enter London. So, you know, there are ways and means we could get around this, and I think farmers should, and I'd be in support of it. You know, if one of the farms that I work for came to me and said, James, would you be willing to, you know, drive one of our tractors in protest, then yeah, I'd seriously consider that. You know, and but yeah, it's a very difficult time, and as I say, I mean, you know, just playing, I mean, you know, farming sim prices are very different to real life prices. I understand this, but if you take farming sim as a kind of a base level for us to something that we can understand, what I would challenge you all to do today is, or at some point in, you know, is go into the game, edit yourself £1 million in, and then see where it gets you, and then edit yourself in another £1 million and see where you, and how many times do you have to, you know, edit in £1 million before you're actually doing anything in farming with, you know, with anything. As I say, I'm playing my sort of personal save game, and I'm upgrading as quickly as I can because I want to, you know, farm on like a huge massive scale. I want to own the whole map and farm it and do all of that, you know, and so, you know, although I'm not editing the money in, as I'm earning it, I'm spending it. You know, for real life farms, there's no point now. There's no point looking to grow your business. You may as well do it as smallly as you can to make the maximum amount of profit that you can. That means that you don't have anything, no assets or nothing. But the trouble is, you know, land is so expensive. You know, that's the first thing. And then you've got the price of machinery. Then you do you know what I mean? Like, you know, so it, you know, farmers need somewhere to live. You know, it's okay. You know, these politicians are coming down to, you know, down into the countryside, you know, with their £1 million, and they're spending it on a, you know, 4 or 5 bedroomed house and a, you know, a pony paddock, and that's £1 million, and that's brilliant, you know, and so therefore they're all exempt because because that's all they want to do with it. But you know, a farm, as I've said before, if you've got a half decent combine and a couple of half decent tractors, you've already got £1 million sitting on your farm. You know, and most of the farms, you know, all farmers actually will change that to all farmers are asset, very rich in assets, but you know, nowhere near as rich in terms of actual money and capital. So yeah, as I say, I think I got one or two little you know, maybe didn't explain myself rightly, you know, didn't know the full situation, got one or two little things a little bit wrong. And so, as I say, you know, I was big enough in the first place to come out and say what I said. You know, I'm big enough to hold my hands up and say, actually, I got it wrong. And I think that you know, that needs saying, that you know, like, I hold my hands up and say, yeah, I may have got it slightly wrong, but yeah. So there we go. We've wronged a right. No, we've righted a wrong. That's what I mean. Shut up, James. Oh, he's digging a very big hole. So, yeah. Anyway, back to today's episode. Now that we've got that sort of cleaned up, we are getting across this field quite nicely. I know I'm overlapping a little bit, but I've said many times before, this map has a horrible habit of the texture tearing and it then going 9 meters outside of the sprayer width. So if I sort of overlap on the side that I've already sprayed, then I can't miss anything, and what it decides to do the other side is entirely up to the sprayer and the game. I was hoping we were going to get this done on a full tank. The field where in the last episode we planted the corn, excuse me, that field I managed to do that on a whole tank. When I got to the far corner, I had 2 litres left, so I did really well. But and the problem that I've got is that I'm actually out of bloody spray now. So yeah, so it'll be a trip to the store, I'm afraid. What I'll do is I'll cut that out. I'll edit that out, and then just bring you back in. Like I say, I ideally I want to do, you know, my intro, my time lapse, my outro, you know, as I do every video, because I'm able to do more in a video, and you're able to see more in a video. In the future, going forwards, because I've started to kind of make noises to Chill Blast about having a new PC, and you know, sort of, and trying to get a new PC, but trying to get it on like a payment plan, because I you know, literally I just can't afford to pay the price for a PC. So I'm talking to them at the moment about what sort of PC I'm going to need, you know, sort of memory I'm going to need, you know, whatever, so that I can actually do farming sim videos the way I want to do them, which is actually record for 2 or 3 hours and then have bits of time lapse in it, then, you know, sort of loads of talking, then bits of time lapse, then, you know, and then we'll be able to get on with doing, you know, maybe 2 or 3 jobs an episode, rather than just sort of concentrating on one job an episode, which is what I have to do at the moment, because obviously if I record for too long, I lose them, you know, my computer runs out of memory and then I can't record no more. And the problem with that is that once that happens, I then can't edit that video to at least clear those videos off my memory, so that I can then get, you know, the next video recorded. So I have to make sure that in the limited memory that I've got, that I'm able to you know, also get that video converted and changed into a you know, I forget the proper word for it, but, you know, converted to a video that I can upload to YouTube. So that's the reason why at the moment I'm doing things the way I'm doing, is because that's all I have, you know, the actual RAM memory for. I've tried getting to save my videos to my SSD card, because I've got absolutely tons of memory on there that I don't use, I think I'm using like 150 gigabyte of it, and I've got a 2 terabyte SSD card. So, but I can't seem to switch it over so that they'll save to the SSD card and not the RAM. Oh, hey, we're out of spray. Let's just reverse back so I can actually see where we are. So let's now try and pick a reference point. There's no reference points that way. Where can we get here? So we are about level with, is that a house in front? Level with that house in front. Just past the end of the field. Is there a bush or anything this side? No, well, there's one there, but no, that's not going to help. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll just stop the video here. I'll go off and get some more spray, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and after lots of fiddling and trying to get myself in the correct position, I think I'm there. Oh, no, I was offline a little bit. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, so so that's the status with the computer at the moment. Is I am kind of, as I say, sort of chatting with them, but I'm looking, I think, you know, from what they've because they've sent me emails with PCs that would be in their eyes suitable, and you're looking at anywhere between sort of £2,500 to £3,000, and as I say, I just don't have that money. And with trying to get a house at the moment, and needing deposits, needing furniture, because I have no furniture. You know, I have nothing for when and if when I get eventually into my own place. So you know, I just don't have that money, and the chances of me saving it and then, you know, sort of buying. So as I say, I'm sort of kind of you know, sort of in negotiations with them, and hoping that I can sort of sort something out. I want to stay with Chill Blast, just because this PC that I've had, this is the first Chill Blast one that I've had. When I first bought it, I had a little issue with it. I rang them up, they answered the phone straight away, which was an unbelievable thing. I didn't have to keep pressing 1 for this and 3 for that and 2 for that. Someone spoke to me when they picked up the phone. Someone said, yes, how can I help, you know, blah blah blah, and I said, well, this is an issue, and they said, hang on, I'll put you on to one of our technical guys. Within 30 seconds, one of those people answered the phone, and within probably 5 minutes I had the whole thing sorted out and done, and the problem, you know, sort of corrected, and I was able to use the computer as you know, as I wanted to, and touch wood, and I've done that already this morning, and something's gone wrong after I've said this, so you know, I'm not doing this lightly, but touch wood, I've had the PC now about 6 years and I've not had an issue with it. You know, the only thing is that I just don't have enough memory. Now, whether you could buy extra memory and just shove it into that, I don't know. You know, I would be sort of kind of in a way more, you know, just as happy to do that, because as I say, I really like this PC. It works well. The load up time on it is slightly slower than what it used to be. It used to be a matter of seconds. Now, you know, it's probably, I don't know, between 5 and sort of, you know, no, probably about 30 seconds now before it goes from the initial on screen to get into my desktop, whereas before I used to press the button and it was virtually instant. But now it's a bit slower, but I can live with that because I usually switch the PC on and then go off and make a cup of tea anyway, so you know, that sort of doesn't bother me so much. But it's just the memory issue that, you know, that does bother me, because it's stopping me from doing what I want to do, and you know, because I'd like to get OBS and I'd like to do some live streams, especially on this map. because this map is conducive for that because of how big the fields are and how small my equipment is. So I'd like to start doing some live streams and stuff like that, but I can't because OBS takes up, I think it was like nearly 4 gig of memory, and you know, I just wouldn't have the memory to be able to do live stream in OBS and record videos and convert them. So I need something with I've got 8 gig. At the very least I need to double that. You know, at the very least I need to double that, but I would like to go a lot bigger if I can. I'd like to go to 32. You know, I'd like to go to 32 gig. That's what I would like to go to. I think that should be enough. But don't know. Let me know in the comments. You know, what do you guys think? You know, do I have a solution, a cheaper solution than buying a new PC for this PC, or am I getting a new PC or trying to get a new PC? The graphics card's pretty good. I mean, as I said before, I've got a 12 gig graphics card in here. I think it's 12 gig. It's either 6 or 12. I'm sure it's 12. NVIDIA graphics card. So that's pretty good. Like I say, I got a 2 terabyte SSD card in it. That I, you know, all my Steam games are saved basically to my SSD drive. I'd like to get Farming Sim over onto my SSD drive now. Grainman very kindly offered to help me out with that, but because again I can't get Discord, because to have Discord it takes up too much memory, I can't get there to have his assistance in switching it all over to my SSD drive, because again that would free up a huge chunk of memory and mean that I would be able to, you know, have a lot more memory to play with. So at the moment it's just holding me back on everything that I want to do. I want to get Discord for my own channel too, you know, so that it's another way that you guys can sort of get me. I don't understand Instagram, I don't understand Facebook, I don't understand TikTok and all of that. So at the moment it's kind of, you know, the thing was, when I was with my ex that I broke up earlier this year with, my plan was that once I kind of got myself set with a new PC, blah 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 blah, got all that sorted out, I was going to get her to run the social media, her daughter to run the social media side of things, because obviously, you know, she's 13 years of age and there isn't nothing she doesn't know about a phone and a computer. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, typical teenager, you know, she knows everything about everything like that, where I don't. And so she would have been ideal to have run my sort of social media side of it. I'm sure Facebook and stuff isn't that hard to figure out, but the problem that I have is if I'm not really kind of interested in something, then I struggle to learn it. Whereas if I'm interested in something, you know, I sort of can pick it up quite quickly. And Facebook has just never interested me, mainly because whoever I've sort of, you know, like the people that I know and the people that I've been with in the past that have been on Facebook, you know, all I ever hear is, oh, honestly, you know, like, and I sort of think, and I say to them, why are you on there? And then they say, oh yeah, but you gotta be on here because you gotta know, ain't you? And it's like, you gotta know what? You gotta know what everyone's doing. Why? And I just, you know, I just don't get it. But you know, I like I say, I know it would help. You know, it would help to push my channel a little bit further. You know, to do TikTok, to do Facebook, to do, you know, Instagram and all of that. WhatsApp probably as well. You know, so as I say, I know it would help, but I don't really. Oh, I missed another bit here. Look. Why did I miss that? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, but yeah, so it's not going too badly at the moment. We're getting over this field, and then as I say, we've got the mammoth field to do. Oh no. I'm gonna be sat for a long time. It's a good job football's on this afternoon. I can put that on, put this on, because I've got to go off now and do some more recording elsewhere, and and then this afternoon I will sort of free myself up at around Sunday lunchtime, and then this afternoon, as I say, I think I'll spray that mammoth field. But once I get to the end of this field, I will leave this video. And I know it's a bit of a shorter video, but like I say, I had a few things that I wanted to say about what I'd said in the Britons episode. So if I did upset anyone, I do apologise. It was no intention of upsetting anybody, obviously. It was just sort of my views and opinions. But now that I've been, now that things have been sort of explained to me in layman's terms, I understand different. I mean, I understood anyway, you know, because I'd said in previous videos, you know, go get yourself £1 million in farming sim, go and see what you can buy. You can buy nothing, you know. You literally, I mean, you could buy loads of this, you know, like these old tractors and these old sprayers. You could buy, you know, an absolute bloody mountain of them, but you know, what's the point? We ain't never going to get nothing done. You certainly aren't going to get the quality of food that you get today. Do you know what I mean? You know. Yeah, and you know, anyway, I've said all I wanted to say, and as I say, that was my point for this episode. Why is that not folding up? We still used another half a tank of spray. Look, it's a big field this now. You know, this was a sort of smaller field. I don't know what I'm going to do with this half. I think what I might do is I might put a border in down there so as it's level with the corner of where that tree is, and then all of that area I might grass that. Pardon me, and then it will be another area of grass that we'll be able to get for our cattle, and yeah, we'll be looking good. We need another dairy pen anyway, because as I say, I want to expand that, because that did keep expanding, you know, sort of on a quite regular basis. So yeah, anyway, thanks ever so much for watching this video. Really enjoyed having your company. Like I say, I hope I haven't upset no one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks ever so much. Bye for now.